something a little bit more serious. Divorce is something that is a common problem in South Africa. Now, not just for the people involved, but also for the children involved. Statistics in South Africa have shown that it's decreased in the last year, but a lot of the surveys are showing a lot of other facts that are also as interesting. Take a look at this.
According to the latest statistics, 36.7% of South Africans aged 20 or older are married, and 1.9% of those lead to divorce. So what are the reasons for divorce? Infidelity is still among the top 3 causes of marital breakups in South Africa, but there's a growing trend of emotional and psychological abuse and unreasonable behavior as reasons for the breakdown of a marriage. Some examples of unreasonable behavior cited in the study were an unwillingness to compromise, unsociable spouses, stealing from a joint bank account, and even cross-dressing spouses who wanted a sex change. Interestingly, more females were filing for divorce than males, with the average age of a marriage that led to divorce being 5 to 9 years. Social networking is also cited as a major problem for relationships, with spouses who spend countless hours on social networks to the exclusion of family, creating a disconnect that often cannot be repaired. The good news is that divorce has decreased by 8.5% from the previous year, but what can be done to further stem the tide of broken relationships?
Well, the answer to that question is probably that couples need to strengthen their relationship to make sure that not as many divorces take place. Well, here to give us some answers and also to chat about it, Dr. Eve, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
I look at this and I'm thinking, what are the common reasons for divorce? Why do people want to separate and not be with each other anymore?
People don't really want to separate anymore, as you even can see from the statistics, and don't be fooled by it. It looks as if less people are wanting to get divorced. And the reason for that is that they're staying unhappily married. People are saying to themselves, actually, I don't want to unsettle what I have for the children's sake, for my own stability, for security, for financial reasons, and so I'm going to stay here, and it's kind of good enough. And what they're doing, and you heard that on the insert, is they're spending more time on social media. So it's like, that's where I'm getting my sex, or that's where I'm getting my thrills, but I'm holding the security and stability of my marriage intact because it's an easier thing to do.
Why are more women filing for divorce? Is it a thing within ourselves? Are we the ones that goes, you know what, we're not happy about this?
Well, no, not really. First of all, women can survive easier on their own than what men can. But there is this whole thing around cheating and cyber infidelity that's going on. So that's the research that I'm doing right now, looking at what is going online and why are people spending so much time online. Facebook is cited as one of the major reasons for people getting divorced. Sure. People are finding that they want to stay married, but they want the excitement and the variety on the side, and Facebook is a place that they're going to. It's kind of cited in something like 60 or 70% of divorces in America. People just are getting back there and getting divorced because they want the old love again.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic almost to think about divorce and then to go, how do we give tips for a healthy relationship in order not to get divorced? Is there such a thing? Do you have any?
Yeah, I do think that if people, first of all, choose correctly, you want to really be choosing with your head, not with your heart. And I know it sounds very unromantic, but that's the truth of it. And then it's about finding conscious time to be together, because life today doesn't lend itself to having a relationship. I mean, that's just the fact of it. It's easier to get online than it is to spend face-to-face time with a partner and give up work time. Give up time that you want with your recreation, with your friends, with your children. Children are kind of a problem in marriages today because children have become what we call it, they're on the throne. So they take precedence over everything.
Yeah.
And couples' relationships fall apart because the children have been prioritized. And that's really one of the reasons why people are getting divorced, paradoxically. They stay together because of the children, but they're also very unhappy or lose the intimacy because the children are the ones that are ruling that relationship, or they've allowed the children to rule the relationship.
Yeah.
So it's really one of the tips, making sure that you as a couple are prioritizing your relationship and not the children, not in-laws, not money, not work, but actually focusing on your relationship as a certain amount of time in your day.
Thank you, Dr. Eve. Well, there you heard it. Prioritize your relationship and, of course, stay online for all the right reasons, too. Well, speaking of online, it was online where I found out about these guys. Earlier, we talked about being kiff. Well, Ewan has got more.